Saturday. It's a great day to arrest the cops who murdered Breonna Taylor, and it's also a great day for a collection of tape. Shall we? Riffs over my shoulder for your ears, brought to you by Falconer of Sweden. This is their debut album. I love Falconer. I woke up today with Falconer riffs just going on in my head, so I would play this in the background. This is a post-Dawn, post-Mythotin band. I love Dawn. It's kind of like a studio project where they have this like theatrical kind of singer, as you can hear, I'm sure. It's kind of like folky kind of power metal in a way, with just like nice, really succinct riffing and catchy melodies and stuff going on, but the vocalist is pretty unique. Like ordinarily this kind of music would be sung in like falsetto, wailing kind of power metal kind of vocals, but he sings more in like the more modal range of like kind of mid kind of thing, and it's kind of off-putting in the beginning, but it's got a lot of charm to it, and I think it kind of makes singing along with it a little more accessible with the catchiness of the lyrics and all that. So check that out. Falconer, self-titled debut from 2001. We are talking strictly only about old, boring death metal bands from here on out, maybe, especially in this video. So I hope you like that kind of stuff. This is not by any means all of the stuff I've gotten in lately. I've just picked a handful of stuff to share with y'all. First off, we have this Nuclear War Now reissue of Amputation's demos, Slaughtered in the Arms of God, as well as the Achieve the Mutilation demo, 1990 and 1989. And Nuclear War Now unearthed a old rehearsal from '89 and tacked that on the end. Well fucking done. Amputation was pre-Immortal. I love Immortal. So members of Jorn from Hades played drums in this. Demonaz from Immortal played in this, as well as someone from Old Funeral. This is killer stuff, and I think Nuclear War Now is selling this for like 11, 12 bucks. Good shit. I'm a little too young to remember the tape trading days, but I wound up meeting Herva from Antaeus on AOL chat rooms, and I was looking really hard for anything I could get my hands on related to Immortal back in those days, and that was 98, 99 or so. I wound up sending Herva, or MKM if you will. I was more interested in talking to him because of Spike Cult, his record label back in the day. I sent him a couple of blank tapes, and he sent it back to me after months and months and months with Xeroxed album covers and dubs of this Amputation stuff. And that's what I've like lived off of ever since then. So I love having a CD edition of these things in the juvenile incarnation of pre-Immortal. Killer death thrash kind of stuff. It's not technical whatsoever. These kids were fucking 16 years old. It's remarkably potent and like hard-hitting for how young they were and how old it was, or for how old this is. The sound quality is pretty decent on it. It's worth picking up. I recommend that you do so if that sounds at all interesting to you. Also picked up this vinyl from Finland's Circle of Boros. I kind of dip in on this band every once in a while. I find them kind of interesting, but I feel like I kind of haven't quite found the album yet. I believe I have 2 LPs and a split with Crooked Necks, and I'll be honest, I like the Crooked Necks half a little better. I love the atmosphere and the overall aesthetic of this project, but I want it to be more like musical and tuneful and more more down to earth, I guess. If you're not familiar with Circle of Boros, it is kind of rooted in Nordic black metal, but taking its cues from stuff like Joy Division and Forgotten Woods, Urfaust, Alcest, some of that kind of stuff. This project started in 2006, and this demo came out in 2007, and then Final Agony reissued it on 2 vinyls. There's really nothing to look at here. 2 vinyls, 3-sided, with an extra track on it, because the original demo was only like 22 minutes. But this is just hypnotic, waterlogged, dreary, just absolutely psychedelic black metal. It's like if you like that aspect of some of the more repetitive kind of acidy, if you will, black metal bands, this kind of stuff really nails it. But while I love that about it, I still kind of wish, like, I wish there was an album or some songs where I felt like I could tease out the riffs and remember that this part is different than this part versus this part. It's just kind of like a wallpaper sound in a way that sometimes I kind of want. Sometimes it's background music, it's great, but I would really enjoy this project if I could figure out which album would hit that mark for me. So if you're a fan and you know maybe which one I should get, I have 11 Fingers as well. I think Islands is one I used to listen to and never wound up getting a copy of it, but the dude has 18 releases under his belt, so really hard act to follow. I check in on him every once in a while and I kind of like it, but yeah, that's Night Radiance. This one came to me on the recommendation of one Tanner from Obsequii. My buddy Dave, who is my one and only favorite patron of the channel, sent me a little care package the other day, and he threw in this coffin rot. This is called A Monument to the Dead. I had been kind of seeing this going around, and I was like, yeah, I'll give it a listen maybe someday. I don't know. It kind of takes a lot for me, I think, these days to go out of my way to acquire and bring into my life a new death metal band that is playing kind of old style, old school death metal. Like I will say I'm good, but every time a new one falls on my lap, I'm like, that's fucking awesome. God damn it. Stop it. And these guys are out of Portland. Like, all these death metal bands are out of Portland, and they're making killer fucking death metal. And this is no exception. I know what a lot of you guys are thinking. It's not as good as the originals. And that's fucking true. Nobody's arguing that, but this is fucking great. I appreciate you sending this out to me, Dave, and I probably wouldn't have gotten a copy if you wouldn't have given it to me, but I've been spinning the fucking ever-loving hell out of this thing. It rules. Came out on Rotted Life last year, I think. He also sent me this weird EP by a band called Gravestone. This is a Dark Descent and Crypt reissue of an EP that came out in 1994, and it's weird. It's not super weird at first. Like, upon first listen, you can be like, all right, I can see why this was worth putting back into print in the year, I don't know, 2017, maybe 16 or something like that. But it's like 22, 23 minutes. The vocalist is really throaty and but then it will break off into some of this like funky bass playing kind of wackiness that you wouldn't expect. There are just a lot of left turns here and there. It's a quirky little strange kind of thing. These guys recorded this EP in '94 and didn't do anything again until 2017, which I haven't heard. But Gravestone, fucking weird. Thank you, Dave. That was unexpectedly great. A couple of streams ago, I hope you guys are enjoying the streams. I try and bump in there when I can. I wish I could be on more often. I'm always working on Friday nights, so we were talking about like death metal bands that kind of everybody loves, classics, and stuff that I don't have in my collection. And the topic of Pestilence came up, and I've only had Spheres for a couple of years, ever since Radical Research talked about that album in one of their episodes, and I've always had Testimony of the Ancients, which it's pretty good. I mean, and like, I was fine with Pestilence up until that point. And when I saw this album cover, I always thought, you know what, I'm good.
Ants on my face, oh shit!
Yeah, so like, I swam past this one every chance I got. I may have downloaded it back when I was 20 years old or something, but I don't know. Just, I shouldn't have judged a book by the cover, because this album fucking slays all asses. Holy shit. What do they say? This all fucks! No, this video is not for kids. But yeah, dude, Consuming Impulse. Fucking rules. I don't know why I fucking slept on this for so goddamn long. Hammerheart reissued this with a couple of live shows tacked on the end, which I haven't listened to yet. Original artwork, I guess, which is no better than this fucking ants on your face bullshit. But man, Van Drunen, dude, one of the best fucking death metal vocalists of all time. I'm a little pissed that I slept on this for so long, but stoked that I'm having it fall into my lap this late on in my life. I'm probably going to pick up Malleus Maleficarum. I hear that's like a little bit thrashier, but like just based on the fucking amazing quality of this one alone, I'm going to get that Malleus Maleficarum. Additionally, my buddy Cal hooked me up fucking proper. We're kind of on this like gift off kind of deal where we've got 229 cassettes I'm gonna drop off at his house tomorrow, so we'll see what he can come up with there. But dude runs a distro in some form or another, I don't understand. But he hooked me up with Mystifiers' fucking debut from 1992, Wicca. So I've listened to this twice. First time I thought, alright, I didn't realize this was so kind of clumsy and amateurish and I don't know, just very, very new and early in the days of Bestial kind of black metal. But I put it on tonight and I fucking really, really dug it. I was like, this doesn't sound like how I remember it sounding. I'm becoming more and more aware these days of how my mood and like external factors can influence how I feel about an album while I'm listening to it. It's making me kind of feel susceptible and like kind of nervous about when I put something new on. How is this gonna go? You know, I don't know if you ever feel that way, but like upon listening to this again, it sounds completely different, and I was kind of blown away the second time around. I have always had a copy of The World Is So Good That Who Made It Doesn't Live Here, which is one of the greatest album titles in all of metal history ever, and it was pretty good. But yeah, one of the very early progenitors of Brazilian blackened death metal came up alongside fucking Blasphemy and Beherit. Not that I'm saying that they are from Brazil, asshole commenters. In fact, I looked this up just out of curiosity. These guys are from a city called, shit, it's escaping me, but 1,226 miles from Sao Paulo, Brazil, which is the distance from New York to Omaha, Nebraska. So when you say Brazilian anything, you could still be talking about like a really long ways away from one another. I'm waiting for the name of the area to come to me, but it's not. This comes with a bonus DVD of their performance from 2010 Nuclear War Now Festival, as well as another show from 2009. About 17 tracks on there on the live DVD. I couldn't get it to play on my laptop. I didn't try super hard, but I'm not sure what was going on there. I wound up watching it on YouTube, and it was pretty good. A couple cameras, sounded pretty good, and it looks like the lineup dropped off just after those two shows were recorded. So I know they put an album out last year that I'm kind of curious about. I've heard a lot of good things about them. I will probably wind up picking up that. Yeah. Also been hearing a lot about this one, Gloomlord by Florida's Worm. These guys are making waves, if you will, because they're fucking good. I've been spinning this quite a bit. Head Split Records just put this out. It came out originally in January, back on Iron Bonehead, on LP, and maybe cassette as well. So it's just hitting the compact disc. I was waiting for this to come out on CD. I bought it on Bandcamp before that and listened to it a little bit. This is another one of those bands really wearing its influences on its sleeve. This Embalmed is a really easy one. But what they're doing is really well curatorial, but also in a way where they're like churning through those influences to offer something new, but not too new. So it has a nice way of referencing things that you already know and love, but offering some originality by mixing things up a little bit. It's really weird to hear like some Chuck Schuldiner-ish kind of leads going on. Great guitar solos all over the place, but some of the parts are just slow, trudgy, swampy, fucking gloomy, just deathly morbid death metal. This is a really fucking good album, and I can't wait to hear what they do next. It's one of those records, kind of like that Mortiferum Disgorged from Psychotic Depths, where the production or the sound quality on it lends so much to the atmosphere going on. It's a really fun listen, highly recommended. That one came from Pat, Ground Zero Salem. You should subscribe to that man. Also picked up Bolt Thrower. What is this called? Honor, Valor, Pride. Yeah, so I don't know. I think I'm only missing 2 Bolt Throwers in my collection. I'm not like insane about Bolt Thrower like some people are. And my buddy Austin from Panopticon said that this was his favorite Bolt Thrower album. So I was like, all right, what am I missing? I need to get it. Upon listening to it, musically, it's pretty fun. It's definitely not going to be the first or second or maybe even third Bolt Thrower that I throw in by any means. I was kind of underwhelmed, especially by the vocals. They sound so fucking phoned in and just chintzy, and it sounds like he was just like sitting down in the vocal booth the entire time. So I don't know. It's fun. It's riffy. It's Bolt Thrower, but vocally, man, it's just really feeble and boring. I want to say I bought this years and years and years ago and wound up sending this to Marty, and he sent it back to me in a VCLT the other day. This is Mutilation, self-titled, I guess. Came out on JL America in '92, and he sent it to me because I collect JL America Turbo USA stuff. But upon revisiting this after a couple years of absence, I think I sent this to Marty at some point, but it's fucking rules. Speaking of Ground Zero Salem, Pat, you need to get on this. This is super, super good. One of the guitar players, if it's worth mentioning, played in like Propane and MOD for a minute. They were from New York. It's definitely a proto death metal, kind of late thrash, early death metal kind of thing. It's generic. It's like, you know what you're getting, but it's fucking awesome. You don't own it, so get on it. God, I'm trying to get my glare game and my focus game on. But it's really, really fun. I'm glad to have this back in the collection. I always kind of regretted giving that up. And finally tonight, I had a subscriber of mine hit me up on Discogs, offering a gift, a present. I'm always accepting some kind of presents. And he said he had accidentally bought, or maybe they accidentally sent him an extra copy of an album that I've kind of had on my wish list for years and years and years. I don't really know anything. I didn't know anything about it until he had sent it to me. But I've always thought, you know, I would pick that up if I saw it in a used bin, but he went ahead and sent me this Resurrection, Embalmed Existence. I didn't know that Hammerheart was reissuing a lot of these early death metal releases that Pestilence was from them as well. So cool that they're doing that. They're giving them some nice packaging. Look at this nice foil kind of slipcase. Double disc, throws on the demos from 91 and 92, which I haven't listened to yet. Looks like just 4 songs for demo 91 and 2 songs for demo 92. Embalmed Existence came out in 93. It's one of those Floridian Morrisound Studios kind of lesser tier classics, if you will, that I've kind of always meant to get. I've always just kind of seen it around and I thought, what's that about? But I don't think I'd ever listened to it. But man, I was fucking impressed with this. So I really appreciate it, dude. Thanks for sending this to me. I listened to it 3 or 4 times in a row. It's, again, kind of thrash moving into death metal. It's very, very brutal thrash, if you will, but not so death metal-y that it's getting boring at all. I really, really like that kind of border area, 89 to like 92, where things were getting gory, but not quite all the way out of like thrash from the 80s. It's a really, really great time period to go fucking nuts about. So these guys were at times brutal, other times kind of jumpy, aroundy, moshy kind of thrash kind of stuff. They've got a lot of variety going on, and a lot of it is driven by this drummer. Dude fucking smokes. He's played in a million bands, Alex Marquez. I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with him. Played in Solstice, which is like another band I've kind of like always known about. Like another one like Massacre. I don't know, I've never really owned anything by Massacre. Maybe I'm missing out on a huge deal there, but this was fucking fun to have fall into my lap by an appreciative subscriber. So thank you, dude. I really like that. By the way, one noteworthy detail about this album is the interludes and the intros, if you will, between every song are without a doubt the poorest decisions anyone has ever made in all of mankind. I think it's safe to say. So check out the music, but also check out the intros because they are fascinating. I don't think I could do any better at making such a poor choice for what to do between the songs. It doesn't ruin it whatsoever, luckily. I actually kind of look forward to the intro, interludes or whatever, but holy shit. It's like maybe one of the members of the band came in late one night after the album was completely finished and was like, let's do some acid and make some jokes and make some creepy intros or something, and then tomorrow we'll send it to the label without it letting any of the other members of the band know what we did. And that's what became the most memorable aspect of this album in perpetuity. So that's hilarious. He also sent me a copy of this unexpectedly. This band is called Valdez, and the album is called Ember Breather. It looked interesting, and Pest Productions put this out. Kind of interesting. It's like a Chinese label putting out like post-black metal kind of stuff, sort of, if you will, along the lines of Bind Rune kind of stuff. There are some kind of interesting Southeast Asian projects. Dudes who are pretty talented at making this post-black metal kind of stuff, but this is actually honestly pretty forgettable. At times, at its best moments, it sounds a little bit like Falls of Raros, which is a really good thing, but not really hitting the mark for me. I'm sure it was just like a gimme, whatever, throw it in the box with the Resurrected. So it's just whatever. So I'll probably wind up doing another collection update with the other shit that I've gotten in lately, but that's it for now. I'll see you next time. Remember, Black Lives Matter. Thanks. Have a good one.
You to the Kentucky office of State Representative Walker Thomas.
This is Walker Thomas. I'm sorry I missed you. Please leave your name and phone number, and I will try to get right back with you. Thanks for calling. We'll talk to you soon.
At the town
When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hi, my name is Ben Smith, and I'm calling from Iowa City, Iowa, and I think you should arrest the cops who killed Breonna Taylor. Thank you. Have a nice day.